Welcome, Anna. Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you.
We're here in this beautiful place,
Yeah,
Italy,
absolutely.
in Bali. And we met recently because we are both passionate about entrepreneurship. And I would love to ask you a few questions because I think it's so inspiring to be able to share the knowledge you have with other people.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's start.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I think it's important to highlight that we just met, and I think this is also like the magic of Bali, that you just randomly meet a person and you finally end up doing something like as cool as this.
Yes.
So I think it's magic that, as you said, like maybe that I can inspire others, but also like you. So I think this is cool because this can be just a conversation. So just sharing our thoughts on life.
Yes.
And yeah, so okay, so about me, I'm from Spain. I just recently turned 29 and I'm here in Bali because I wanted like a change in my life. Like I've been working online for the last 2 years or so, but I was based in Spain. I'm not sure why, like I think you like kind of start living and you follow like the correct path. So well, it's true that I changed a bit my path already because I studied engineering and now I do something completely different that maybe we can talk later. But yeah, like I was in Spain and then I thought like, okay, you've always loved traveling. You're 28 because I was 28 when I came here, and it's like, okay, everything's great, but you love traveling and you haven't traveled so much and you actually can do it. So why don't you try? And then, well, you face all those fears like, but am I going to do that alone? I don't have any reference to do that alone. But that's one of the main reasons why I would like to also try to share my experience, because I didn't have any friends nor people that had done this before. And actually I was inspired by people from other countries that I saw on Instagram. But I think like knowing more about like real stories and telling also like the background, the not so beautiful things, it's also cool. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you started the path from basically before you studied engineering. For how many years?
8 years actually, because the degree is 4 years, then you have to do 2 years of the master, so it's minimum 6 years, and then if you start like doing maybe your project, a longer project or something, you end up like being minimum 7 years. In my case it was 8 on the whole.
Wow. And then I remember we spoke about it before, you faced the challenge of having to decide between civil engineering, which is the correct path, what society tells you, and you've been working so hard for.
Yeah.
And between, what was the other option we spoke about before?
Well, what I do now is that I have an online English school for Spanish speakers. And yeah, like engineering was the correct path just because I had already studied 8 years. So it's good. People usually tell you like, okay, you're going to waste 8 years of your life. But first of all, I don't think I've wasted them.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to move because the sun is like killing
Yeah, I mean,
me
this is amazing, but it's true that it's
the
quite
sun,
hot. So
it's a bit hot today.
no, it's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was saying that engineering was the correct path because you had already like studied 8 years, etc. But I don't think they are wasted at all. I met amazing people that inspired me also, that are friends forever, etc. And mainly I think I've learned many things, maybe like to be confident enough to start a business, because maybe I sometimes think like, okay, you did that thing that was kind of hard, so if you did that, you can do any other thing, you know? So maybe the mindset or the hard working process, because like when I was sharing the flat, my flatmates were all the time like saying, but you never stop working, like why, how can you work so hard? And it's like, I've been doing this for 8 years. This is nothing new for me. So I don't want to say that it's good to be working all the time, but having this ability to know what you want and work hard to get it, I think it's important. And sometimes it's one of the things I sometimes struggle with, because you see the perfect lives of some people like digital creators, etc. And it seems that they only do like beautiful pictures, but I think they must have a lot of work like behind the scenes. And well, in my case, I'm not a digital creator, but as a like entrepreneur or something like that, you do have to work. You do have to work hard. So clients started reaching out like, okay, I would like to pay you for lessons, etc. And I was at that time working for an English academy just to make some money. So then I said, okay, why don't I start trying to make a business out of it? And when it started like working, like I was starting to receive money, etc., then I was offered the job. So I had to face this situation like, okay, I want to do this, but I also have this other option. So it's not as easy because before it's like, okay, I have nothing, so I'll do this. But then I had to decide. But I think it was clear in my mind that I wanted to start this project because I had already like started reading a lot of books, listening to a lot of podcasts about entrepreneurship, business, and I found that I really liked it because I think I like to do many things. I like psychology, I like business now. So I think like starting a business is perfect if you like many things because you can actually do many different things and not only focus on one, you know. So.
Okay, that's amazing. That's really nice story. So, were you always dreaming about becoming entrepreneur, or, as I understand, it's something that happened kind of on the way?
Yeah, it just happened. Actually, I didn't even know what a freelance is. Like being an adult, like being 25, I didn't even know how that works, you know, because in my family, I have had no experience of business, people, or something like that. It's true that my brother was already a freelance, but you know, like you never learn about these things. So actually, I don't know how it all started. Like I had this Instagram, I wanted to give lessons, like to teach people. So then I thought, okay, to make this legal, what do I have to do? So then I figured out like which legal things I had to do. So then I saw, okay, I'm a freelance. But I never dreamed of having a business or anything like that. Actually, I started like a hobby.
In Spain, because you're originally from, as I remember, Valencia,
Yeah.
right? In Spain. By the way, I love Spain. So you said you had some examples of people already doing that.
Yeah.
How did you find them? Was it somewhere online?
I think Instagram is very intelligent. So once you like something, it starts showing you many other things. So maybe that happened.
Like
But actually, we are speaking just about like being a freelance because actually like traveling is something that happened much later. But yeah, when it comes to creating a business, I started following a club that was for women entrepreneurs, something like that. And then just by following those, it was also a podcast of other women telling their stories. So then I started following the rest and everything came together, you know, so.
What do you think is the biggest challenge in this lifestyle? Because you work remotely, but you also at the same time have your own business. So for sure it's not a typical path. What do you think is the hardest about this lifestyle?
I'm not sure. I know that some people face problems like people judging them, etc. Actually, I feel I'm very lucky because I didn't. Like my friends have always supported me, etc. My family also. It's true that for them, let's come here.
But I need to, oh man. Yeah, I'm dying a bit. It's like a backstage reality. Okay, sorry. So let's ask again.
Okay.
What do you think is the biggest challenge?
Yeah, I think that some people really face those problems, like people judging them. Actually, I really feel lucky because no one was kind of judging me. Everyone supported me when I decided to change my path. It's true that obviously my family, like for them, like studying engineering was something amazing, and they always say like, okay, you're super young and you already did this, so you could have a stable job, you could have maybe a good salary or much better than maybe the one I'm having right now. So I understand that maybe success is a concept that each of us have a different definition, I guess. So I understand that maybe for older generations, like money and stability and having a family are what like the biggest thing you can achieve. And basically, I was offered a job with which I could maybe have that. So I understand that for them, that was a bad decision. But I think now they are proud of me actually, because actually I'm doing what I'm happy with. And even though obviously maybe they would prefer me to do something different, I really think that they prefer to see me happy, and I think like they really know that that's what I want to do. So
that's really great to hear. I think the environment is so important, but I think what's also important to do if you don't have the environment, like go somewhere and search for other people, right?
Absolutely.
Have that community, that support, because I also think this is important thing to remember, that many times we ask other people for validation and we ask them like, oh, should I do this? I want to do this. Like you tell them about your dream, your idea, and they're like, but did you know this? Did you know that? And they kind of like
put you off.
put you off because they projecting their fears into you.
Yeah.
So I think we all have experienced that, and I think the most important is just to go through this and keep going and do your own thing and follow your own path.
Here you can find many people, so obviously it's great to have different point of views, because sometimes if you're like only seeing like the positive opinions, maybe you're going to crash, you know, because you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to invest money on this, etc. So it's okay that some people tell you, okay, but maybe you should slow down, like take it slow, okay. But it's also important, I think it was with you that we were speaking about it yesterday, like you also have to focus on people that already did what you want to do. And obviously I wouldn't know anything about this if I hadn't been inspired by other people who already did this. So I think it's also important to learn from those who have more experience than you. And yeah, like be careful, but also you have to take risks. At least in my case, like in my super small business, but I have had to take many risks because...
Yeah, what kind of risk were you
I'm thinking of money. Like, for example, like if I want to grow my business, I have a school. So I was an online teacher, which was okay. And maybe I'm sure I could have much more money or a better salary if I was just me, because all the money comes for me, also the expenses, but that's it. But I decided that I wanted to invest more money on the business so that it's a school. So then you have to hire people. Like you're never ready to, for example, hire a person, you know, when maybe your business is super successful, but it was not my case. Like I was not super rich, but I decided, okay, maybe my salary is going to be much lower right now, but I'm going to decide to invest money on this. So I think it's never the perfect time to do that. So you have to risk and say, okay, I want to try this. And if this doesn't work, we'll see.
What is your definition of success?
Okay, I was going to say to be happy, but what is happiness, you know? So I think it's to be true to yourself. Like, first of all, you have to do like this work on yourself to know what you want in life. And yeah, one of the things I have always wanted is to travel, and I was not doing it, you know? So I think I'm now being true to myself by traveling, meeting other people. I think I'm growing a lot as a person. So yeah, I think right now I'm successful because I wake up every day and I'm happy. Of course, some bad things happen to me, you know, but I'm like fulfilled that I'm doing something that I've always dreamt of. I think my child self would be super proud of me right now, so I'm really happy to do that.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that in all your energy, and yeah, I think it's also like one of the best things I did in my life, solo traveling. What would you advise someone who has like fear to do solo traveling? What would you advise to them?
Okay, 1 year ago I decided to do this. I was super shocked because I decided to go to one place in Spain alone. And actually it was not completely alone because I knew someone there, and for me that was like super crazy. So when I think about it, it's like, okay, 1 year later I'm in Indonesia, what? So again, I think you have to try, because if you don't try, you don't see it. But obviously, maybe try to find a place, I think Bali is perfect, where you already know that you're going to kind of feel confident. I think I was very lucky because I had the opportunity to do this. I don't know if everyone has the opportunity, but I came with my best friends, like as a kind of holiday. So I could see the place before being alone. That's amazing. Maybe you cannot be one whole month with friends, but maybe you can go somewhere with your friends and then decide if you want to stay longer or not. And I was like super, like something that I was clear in my mind is that if I don't like it, I'll go back. Like I'm not going to force myself to do something that I don't want to. So I'm just going to try. And yeah, obviously go to a place that you know that you can find like-minded people or people that are doing the same as you. So I found many people that were also like beginners when it comes to solo traveling here. So I felt more like confident because it's like, okay, I'm not alone. I thought that maybe I would go to a place with only like local people, so then you don't feel like you belong there, you know, because they are not doing the same as you, but I felt amazing here.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start as an entrepreneur?
Okay. I mean, that's hard because I know many people already have a job. So in my case, I had to reject a job, which is already a lot, but I think it's harder when you already have a job and you already have a stability. So I think...
Because you need that secure comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely.
For something risky, unpredicted.
I would
And
start
I
to
don't
do
know.
both things at the same time. I know it's very hard because it's super time consuming, but maybe starting your project, even though it's just with one client or something, and seeing that it works, like validating the idea, validating the project before you quit, I think it's great because you know that you're starting to make some money with something, so you don't quit for nothing. You quit for something that it's started working. In my case, I was still working for the academy, like English Academy, and when I saw that my business was starting to work and I was even getting more money, or I could get more money, but I was not making more money with my business because I was busy with the rest, so I was wasting my time and money. Then I decided to completely quit. So if it's possible, doing both things at the same time is great. And if you cannot get the clients because you cannot invest so much time, at least starting to do like the hard work of creating content, starting your social media, like starting to be a bit well known. So then you don't jump, like you jump into something that is already working.
So basically, start small,
Yeah.
small steps, and go forward. Do you think coming to specific places like Bali helps you to grow faster?
Yeah, I think so. First of all, you meet a lot of people and you do networking. In my case, actually, not directly clients because my clients are Spanish, so I don't find many Spanish people here. But I think they inspire you. Like it's helpful to see that other people are doing the same as you, or that people are also like fighting for their dreams or doing something that is not the correct path or the path that you have always thought that you had to follow. How do you feel in Bali? Do you think it's
Yeah, I think it's a great place for me. I heard some people who came here and didn't like it, which is also okay. But
Yeah.
I think it's all about what kind of people you meet, and do you come here with a purpose or do you come here randomly for holidays? Because I think coming here for holidays can be totally different experience than coming here for 3 months or half a year and meeting all those people, communities, meetups, workshops. I think it can give you so much more, and of course I love it here. I also love traveling, so I'm gonna travel a bit more, but definitely Bali is the spot. Is there anything else you want to share about
Let me think.
anything?
I'm not sure. I would like to highlight that I'm the kind of person who had never thought I would do this. You know, like my mom's still saying like, I would have never believed that you could do this. Like, never, because I was always like, I'm the kind of girl that is afraid of walking alone in the street at night, you know? Like, I've always been like in this secure environment, living in the same town, doing the same degree with the same people. And I don't know when this all started. I think it's by seeing experiences of other people. That's why I really think it's important. And even though my business is like the English school, I would also like to work on my Instagram to create content, not with the goal of making a lot of money or being super well known, but just to let other people see my journey and how like a normal girl from Spain decided to try this and how amazing it is. And even though also bad things happen, but I really feel super happy and I feel blessed that I wake up every day and I'm super happy. So it doesn't need to be the way to everyone, and maybe someone comes here to Bali and they are not as happy as I am, so maybe they should try another place, because like as you said, Bali is not for everyone, and I really like here because of the people. But actually my daily routine is not going to a waterfall, or I haven't even gone to the beach here, you know, like actually
Like people see on Instagram and then reality.
So actually my daily routine is going to the gym, going to co-working, but I really like it here. Sometimes my parents tell me like, but actually, are you really there because there are beautiful cafes? Because that's what I post all the time. But it's more about like the connections, you know, like in Spain, I don't normally meet a girl on a workshop and then we're recording a podcast, you know, like that's super random. And it's something that makes me very happy, you know, and like doing this, like actually we're doing this with a goal, which is like sharing your audience, like sharing the experience, and to find someone that has the same goal as me, and then maybe we can create this connection, make it longer, even travel together, you know, like these kind of things are like super inspiring. So I really like.
I agree 100%, and I'm so happy we met spontaneously, and I'm so happy you agreed to be my first guest. If someone wants to reach out to you, how they can contact you?
I would say mainly Instagram. So it's maybe we can write it because like it's in Spanish, but it's Ana with double N dot teletrabaja, which means in Spanish works remotely. But then we will write it down.
Very nice. Okay, so of course all the contact to Anna, if you want to talk to her, we're gonna leave in the show notes.
Yeah, I would really like to receive the questions because that's what I say. I think it's important, like that you really reach out to someone that you know is already like willing to help you out. So they can definitely do that.
Yes, so please reach out to this amazing girl. She will help you, and this is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
great. Thank you.